Morning, everyone. I am absolutely, positively thrilled to be here with all of you today. I'm sorry I'm not able to give the State of the City this year. Unfortunately, I can't stand for an hour quite yet, but don't worry, I'll be back again next year. You guys can't get rid of me that easily. Today, you're going to hear about the successes we had in 2025, from improving our cybersecurity and technology to addressing roads, utilities, and other important community infrastructure. And new this year, we're also going to talk about what we're going to accomplish in 2026, our look ahead. I think this is really important because you need to know not just what we've done, but what we are going to do and how we are going to continue to make this community thrive. We have wildly important goals, and you're going to hear more about them, from cybersecurity to our roads and pavement to economic development and so much more. I am thrilled to be here with all of you to learn about all of this great stuff. Well, I'm not learning about it, you are. I already know about it. And just thank you all so much for being here. I'm excited for this presentation, and to Mayor Pro Tem Moorman, break a leg, my friend. All right, let's do this.
Thanks, Lauren. All right, for many of us, we don't know the nitty-gritty about Randy Moorman, so I'm going to give you the skinny on him. I learned something when I read the script last night, so I had to talk to him about this morning because we have some Indiana connections. So Randy Moorman was first elected as the District 1 Council member in November 2021, and he was re-elected this past November 25. He was appointed Mayor Pro Tem in 23 and 25. Randy believes the strength of a community is determined by how residents treat and support each other. Randy currently works for EcoCycle, a recycling nonprofit. With more than 22 years of experience working in environmental policy, Randy is passionate about developing the circular economy in Colorado, where materials are recycled instead of going to the landfill and made into new products, creating local jobs. Randy has a Bachelor of Science in Biology from Purdue. Boiler up, there's an Indiana connection. Too bad they didn't go very far in the tournament. And a Master of Environmental Management from Duke University. He and his husband Scott call Arvada home and love to walk on the city's trails and enjoy a night out in Old Town, hanging out with their wonderful neighbors. So please join me in welcoming Mayor Pro Tem Randy Moorman to the stage to present the State of the City address.
Thank you, Lindsay. Mayor Simpson, I am proud to serve with you. Many of us are wearing pink today to show our solidarity and our support for you and those impacted by breast cancer. Thank you for raising the awareness about the importance of screening and early treatment. And I know I speak on behalf of all of us here today that we hope you have a very speedy recovery, and we're here to support you. Well, good morning. Thank you all for being here, and thank you to the Greater Arvada Chamber of Commerce for hosting once again this event. This breakfast has become one of those moments each year when we pause, take a breath, and look at where we are as a city. I want to start to recognize the elected officials here today from the state, county, and local level, our partners in public safety, our city teams, and our businesses and community leaders. And the many residents who care so deeply about Arvada and show up year after year to be part of this very important conversation. And I want to welcome our new city council members, Michael Griffith and Rebecca Lovison. I've enjoyed getting to know both of you over the past 4 months, and I greatly appreciate the new perspective and the passion that you bring to our council. And I'm really looking forward to the great things that we're going to accomplish over the next couple of years. When I look back at 2025, what stands out to me is not just what we've accomplished, but how we've accomplished it. We delivered real results in a year that required focus, patience, and collaboration. And we did it while keeping an eye on the future. Today, I want to spend the first half of our time together looking back at what we delivered in 2025. And then I want to look ahead at how we're preparing Arvada for what's next. This is so important right now. A lot's happening in the world around us that requires us to be resilient, ready for environmental changes, technological advancements, and societal challenges. We need to be forward-thinking. How can we work better for people, businesses, and the environment? As we look back at what we've delivered, I want to start with an area where compassion and effectiveness came together in a very tangible way. I am really proud of the work our city team has done in such a short amount of time. In 2025, the city began leasing rooms at suburban studios to provide temporary shelter paired with intensive case management for Arvada residents experiencing homelessness. This wasn't about a quick fix. It was about creating bridges. A bridge from crisis to stability, from uncertainty to housing. Since January of last year, more than 150 individuals have been served through this program. And of those who exited, roughly 7 out of 10 exited into housing. That is one of the best success rates in the Denver metro area. These numbers matter because behind every number is a person, someone who needed help navigating vital documents, income, healthcare, employment, and the housing system itself. And this program focused on helping people clear those barriers so they could move forward. What I'm proud of here is not just the outcome, but the intention. We focused on what works. We partnered with organizations that specialize on this work, and we centered dignity and results at the same time. And we know that housing is only one piece of stability. There's food security, dignity, and access to support that matters also. That's why I also want to recognize another important partner in our community, Community Table. One of the things I appreciate most about Arvada is that when a need grows, the community responds. And last year, one of our longtime partners took a major step forward in how they serve families facing food insecurity. In 2025, Community Table moved into a new facility in Southeast Arvada, and that move has been transformative. Their new space is not just bigger, it's better designed to meet people where they're at. They grew from about 9,000 square feet to more than 16,000 square feet. That means more rooms for food storage, easier deliveries, more space for clients to shop, and more room for partnerships that connect people and other forms of support. Their new lobby can now serve about 60 clients at a time, compared to just 15 in the old building. There's a larger waiting area for children, a family room, a neighborhood connection center with computers and private space for partner organizations to meet with clients directly. And what that really means is this. It means a parent has a little more dignity and a little less stress. It means children have a place to wait safely. It means families can access not just food, but connection and support and the next steps that they need. Community Table has expanded in just about every way possible, and our community is stronger because of it. We are grateful for their work and proud to partner with organizations that care for our residents so thoughtfully. That kind of city nonprofit partnership matters because a strong city is not just about the services that the government provides, it's also about the community network that surrounds people and helps them where they're at. Not all of the most important work the city does is visible. Some of it happens quietly, behind the scenes, but without it, nothing else functions. In 2025, our organization made major strides in how we support our workforce and protect our systems. We successfully launched a new human capital and payroll system, giving employees better access to information and creating more efficient workflows. We implemented new cybersecurity tools to strengthen our defenses in a world where cyber threats are real. Unfortunately, they're also becoming more common. And we restructured our resident rebate program to qualify more residents for more dollars back. I also want to take a moment to recognize something that may not always be visible, but is shaping how we approach some of our more complex challenges. Last year, members of our team participated in innovation training through Bloomberg Harvard City Leadership. And what matters most is not just that we participated, but how we are now applying that work. We've used those tools to take a more collaborative approach to issues like homelessness and economic development, bringing partners together, testing ideas, and focusing on solutions that can actually move the needle. The challenges we're facing today don't have simple answers, and we need to be willing to think differently, work differently, and learn as we go. All of this is foundational work. And it's the kind of work that doesn't come with a ribbon cutting, but it also allows us to serve the community reliably, responsibly, and securely. And I would be remiss if I didn't also recognize a milestone year for our leadership. In 2025, we successfully recruited a new city manager, Don Wick, and a new deputy city manager, Ali Sheck. These are such vital positions that shape the future of our city and what's to come. Strong systems, strong leadership, that's how you build the capacity for future. If it felt like Arvada was busy this past year, well, we were. Our parks, trails, facilities, and community spaces were used more than ever. Participation across programs reached record levels. Festivals were well attended. People showed up for recreation, for celebration, and most importantly, for connection. We saw record rounds of golf at our courses, athletic field reservations continued to grow, and our major community events from Winterfest to the 4th of July brought tens of thousands of people together. We also continued to add to our public art collection with the completion of 4 new murals. That is what quality of life looks like. It's kids playing in the playground, families at festivals, and neighbors sharing public spaces. And we didn't just maintain what we have, we invested in it. In 2025, we completed a major overhaul of Marge Roberts Park, added new playgrounds, resurfaced courts, repaired trails, planted trees, made significant progress on the Gold Strike Park revitalization project, and continued important restoration work at Majestic View Nature Center. These are investments people can see, and more importantly, they're investments that people use here in our city. Now, infrastructure has never been the most glamorous part of our city, but it may be probably the most important. And sometimes the most responsible decision isn't moving forward, it's knowing when not to. Many of you are familiar with the West 72nd Avenue project. It's very close to home because it's in my district. Beginning several years ago, the city team delivered construction packages 1 and 2 for this project, which included undergrounding utilities, improving drainages, widening the roadway between Oak and Swadley, constructing shared pedestrian and bike paths on both sides of the street, installing medians and landscaping, and improving signals at several intersections throughout the whole corridor. This work has been very beneficial to our community. When the project was approved several years ago, it was financially feasible and aligned with the city's long-term transportation goals. Since that time, construction costs have escalated dramatically, well beyond what anyone could have reasonably expected. At the end of last year, city staff and our partners explored every possible option to reduce costs and keep the project moving forward. Ultimately, the remaining phase of the project would have required trade-offs that were not financially responsible for our community. So we made a very difficult decision, and that was to cancel the remaining work. But that decision reflects stewardship. It reflects a commitment to protecting essential services, maintaining financial stability, and really being honest with the community about what is sustainable, what we can do, and what we cannot do. While this was not the outcome that we had hoped for, it was the right call, given the realities that we are currently facing, and it also reinforces a very important principle for our city. We will invest in infrastructure thoughtfully, transparently, and with a clear-eyed view for long-term impacts. Making decisions like this just isn't easy, but it's exactly why long-term planning and honest conversations matter. In 2025, we advanced planning for the replacement of our water treatment plant. This is a legacy project, one that protects public health and ensures reliable water services for generations to come. Teams complete pilot testing, advanced the design, and prepared for the next phase of work, all while future-proofing the system for changing water, quality conditions, and regulatory requirements. These are long-term investments, they take time, and again, they require that important stewardship. But they're exactly the kind of work that a responsible city must do. I also want to take a moment to recognize the work of the Arvada Economic Development Association and the role they play in supporting a strong and vibrant local economy. In 2025, AIDA helped welcome more than 120 new businesses to Arvada. That includes places that many of you already recognize and probably have visited, like Archwell Health, Old Town Social, and Mission Barbecue. Businesses that add to the character and vitality of our community. But their work at AIDA goes well beyond openings. They've been bringing business owners together through industry roundtables, creating space for people to share challenges, solve problems, and help shape the future of their industries right here in Arvada. They've also helped expand access to capital through stronger connections to lenders and programs like the Arvada Revolving Loan Fund. Hundreds and thousands of dollars are now supporting small businesses, including many that are owned by women, veterans, and members of our diverse community. I also want to recognize the strong alignment we've built together around our economic development strategy. Last year, the city, AIDA, Aura, Visit Arvada, and the Chamber of Commerce worked intentionally to align around a shared set of priorities for economic development in Arvada. That alignment matters because it means we are all moving in the same direction and can make more meaningful progress together. To the team members and partners here today in the room who have helped build that alignment, thank you. Your work is making a real difference in how we support businesses and strengthen our local economy. Arvada businesses reinvested nearly $13 million back into our economy last year, supported in part by grants that help improve storefronts, enhance safety, and strengthen the places we gather and shop every day. Thank you to the businesses that are here today who have made that important investment in our community. I also want to recognize the work of the Arvada Urban Renewal Authority, which continues to play a key role in long-term redevelopment efforts across our city. Last summer, we celebrated the opening of the Arvada Beer Garden in the Ralston Creek area, a space that has quickly become a gathering for residents and visitors alike. And nearby construction is well underway for the Ralston Commons apartments, bringing new housing and new energy in an area that has been thoughtfully planned and invested in for many years. That's what long-term redevelopment looks like. It reflects years of partnership, planning, and commitment to create places where people want to be. Public safety today is about more than response. It's about prevention, education, and trust. In 2025, our police department hosted a parent academy in partnership with Jeffco Schools, bringing together hundreds of parents, guardians, and community partners to talk about issues facing teens today. That includes online safety, substance abuse, dating violence, and much more. This wasn't about fear, but it was about awareness. At the same time, our police department reimagined how they recruit the next generation of officers. Through a redesigned strategy and year-long campaign, applications reached record levels, and the largest academy class in years graduated in December. We are close to being fully staffed once again here at APD. Thank you, Chief Brady, and your amazing team. That's an investment in safety and the future of the profession. I want to close this look back by highlighting a partner that does incredibly difficult and incredibly important work in our community, Ralston House. Ralston House gives children and adults a safe place to share their experiences of abuse, helping law enforcement and child protective services respond appropriately, and helping survivors begin to heal. Last year, Ralston House expanded its work to better serve neurodiverse and nonverbal children and adults, many of whom had never had an opportunity to share their story before. There's a moment that happens at Ralston House, and I will share with you that just this week I got to visit on a tour of Ralston House. And if you've been there, there's this big jar of marbles at the entrance of Ralston House. And what happens at the end of every interview, clients, whether children or adult, get to choose a colorful marble and place it in the jar before leaving. And recently, a child looked at it and said, "Wow, that's a big jar of courage." Certainly is. And it represents not just courage, but the collective work of compassionate professionals, dedicated partners, and a community that chooses to protect the most vulnerable. To everyone involved in that work, thank you. All of that work points to something larger, preparing Arvada not just for the year ahead, but the kind of future that we know is already arriving. That includes how we respond to a changing climate and the very real impacts it can have on daily life here in our community. This is something many of you know I am very passionate about. This winter was an important reminder: warmer temperatures, lack of snow, unusual weather patterns, drought, and recent public safety power shutoffs. They all underscore the same point. Resilience is no longer something we talk about only in the abstract. It affects how we plan, how we build, how we protect our infrastructure, and how we keep our communities strong. This is why this city is taking a major step forward with the adoption of our first climate and sustainability action plan. This plan is about resilience. Communities of the future need to prepare, like Arvada, for future conditions, strengthening our community's ability to respond to disruptions and making thoughtful choices that support long-term quality of life. It's also about competitiveness. Communities of the future will need to be places where residents want to live, where businesses want to invest, places that are forward-thinking, adaptable, and ready. That broader perspective is part of what it means to be future ready.
We interrupt this State of the City address with an important WIG report.
Oh, it's time for our WIG report. Some of you will recall Mayor Williams several years ago calling up his special security detail or Secret Service during the State of the City. I think I have one better. I have a special wig patrol. When Don Wick came to the helm of the city, he basically told council we had too many priorities. We weren't going to be effective at all of them, so he told us we needed wigs. So we got these stylish wigs. What do you guys think? Not bad, not bad. Well, in some seriousness, wigs are a great way for us as a council to focus and make some significant accomplishments. So Wig Patrol, what does WIG stand for?
Wildly important goals.
Yes, we have 3 wildly important goals this year, and I'm now going to provide you all with our WIG report. WIG detail, you are now dismissed. After reviewing community feedback, council priorities, and what we see in the field every day, we identified 3 focus priorities, or WIGs, for the year ahead. To be clear, the day-to-day work continues alongside this increased focus of these identified priorities for 2026. The first priority is technology, specifically protecting the systems that we all rely on. As we all know, cyber threats are no longer abstract. They're happening across the region, across the country, and across every sector. When systems are disrupted, it's residents who feel it first, whether it's paying a bill, accessing services, or relying on emergency communications. That's why investing in cybersecurity is really about protecting our community's day-to-day life. Our focus in 2026 is on prevention, on strengthening our defenses, on making sure city services remain available and secure and ready, and on doing the quiet work that keeps everything running so smoothly. Again, this is about resilience, and it's about responsibility. The second priority is continuing our work to address homelessness, specifically through collaboration and focus. We know that homelessness is complex. And we also know that progress comes from partnering with organizations that specialize in this work, aligning regionally and focusing efforts where the impact is greatest. In 2026, our goal is to support 65 individuals who frequent Old Town into housing outcomes, building on what we've learned and working closely with our partners to deliver those results. To date, we are pleased to share that 20 people have exited homelessness in Old Town with help from our various city teams and our partners in the community, such as Mission Arvada. In addition to playing a critical role in helping our most vulnerable neighbors find homes, Mission Arvada also works with clients to help them obtain the documents necessary to get them back on their feet. So far in 2026, they've helped a number of clients obtain 19 state IDs, 9 birth certificates, and 3 social security cards. Those may sound like small numbers, but they are huge impacts on the lives that these people need these documents for. And we are honored to partner with Mission Arvada in this effort. This is not about a single program, but it's about collaboration among people that gets the job done. It's about staying focused on outcomes that improve lives and also improves community spaces alike. The third priority is pavement. Roads are one of the most visible assets the city has. Everyone uses them. Everyone notices them. In 2026, the city will nearly double the average number of lane miles resurfaced in a year. That's a significant increase. But even then, it represents only a small portion of our overall network. Mayor Simpson mentioned this stat in last year's State of the City, and it bears repeating. Arvada has the 5th worst roads in the area. And that isn't because our teams aren't working hard to effectively address road conditions. In fact, over the past 5 years, the city has steadfastly increased funding for road maintenance by reallocating existing funds to address the backlog. In order to achieve the 75 lane miles this year, the city has allocated $10 million additionally from our reserve funds. While this will help make a meaningful difference, it's not sustainable. Reserve funds can only be used once. The reality is this: infrastructure costs are rising, backlogs are real, and long-term improvement requires consistent investment over time. This is going to take resources. It's going to take time, and it's going to take honest conversations among all of us here in the room and out in the community. Our response and our responsibility is to approach these conversations with transparency, with data, and the respect for the community that we serve. Overall, 2026 is a big year for all of us. Broadly, 2026 is the 250th anniversary of the United States signing the Declaration of Independence, and the 150th anniversary of the state of Colorado's entrance into the Union. On a more local level, Arvada High School celebrated its 125th anniversary last year, and this year it's the 100th anniversary of the flour mill to be celebrated this Sunday. And it's the 75th anniversary of the Apex Park and Recreation District and the 50th anniversary of the Arvada Center. We've got a lot to celebrate this year. Amidst all of that hard work ahead of us, we've got to remember to celebrate all of these amazing milestones that 2026 will bring. And as I look at where Arvada stands today, I see a city that delivers, a city that plans, a city that shows up for its people. We've built momentum, and now we're taking care of our community's priorities. To our city staff, thank you for your dedication and your professionalism. To our partners, yes, let's applaud our staff. To our partners, all of you in the room and those that can't be here, thank you for walking alongside us. And to our residents, thank you for your trust, your engagement, and your care for our community. We all know the work ahead isn't going to be easy, but it is meaningful work. And we will continue to do it together. Thank you.